Welcome to an update, and we're going to do this update discussing some altcoins I believe you should be taking in the coming months when the correction has been finished and we're going into the second phase of the bull cycle. And we're going to discuss a few of those. So that is the topic of today, and I think they are quite okay as altcoins. They are not Shiba Inu, not Floki Inu, just pretty normal altcoins that I think are important to watch in the current market structure, or at least in the coming weeks/months to be buying. Before we're going to continue, do not forget to subscribe beneath, like the YouTube update, and also check out my Twitter and Instagram where you can find daily content on the markets. If you follow me there too, it's helping me a lot to grow the channels towards the next level. So the first one I want to discuss is Cosmos, which is currently showing weakness. We've had a beautiful breakout, and actually the price action itself shows that we've got those cycles, right? We got cycles in which prices continue to rally, and after that prices continue to correct all the way until we get into a bottoming structure before we're going to make a breakout. And it's Cosmos is a little bit different than most of the altcoins, as usually the altcoins bottom out later this quarter and then they start accelerating. But in 2019, Cosmos actually showed strength during the last part. But right now we are back into the correlation, as we can see. What levels am I watching on Cosmos at this stage? I think I'm watching a few levels that are important, and I think we're getting quite close to it. So Cosmos is one of those layer 1 projects, and I'll be discussing it tomorrow too in my project review, in which we're going to dive into the fundamental part of Cosmos overall. While layer 1s have been doing great, and most of them have been doing great, but some are not doing too much, in which Cosmos is one of them, which has been seeing some strength, and now it's consolidating south. So this entire region that we've got here on Cosmos is definitely what I'm seeking in the coming period for a potential entry point. How to divide or how to define such a strategy, do not forget to become a member of our platform, which you can become through the link beneath, which is 8global.com. So I'm looking at anything on Cosmos here. The lower we get, the better. I'll be waiting for additional confirmation on the markets before we're going to get into a position overall. The next one I want to discuss is Chainlink, which, if we get a correction, Chainlink will probably be doing well. Also, if we're going to discuss layer 1s and then we're going to discuss oracles and DeFi, I think Chainlink is one that has to be included in any update overall. Trend is still south, so we're still making lower highs. We might be making a higher low here, but since this period we are still making lower lows too. Overall, the consolidation is taking place, so we might be concluding that we're getting to the end of this corrective period, in which we might be wanting to break this one up and flip some levels before we start continuing. Moving averages are also getting into play at this stage, which is resulting into this sideways action. But once we flip the moving averages, this is definitely one that I want to buy. If we can't break above, I'm looking at any support level that is clearly at the lower stage. So then I'm looking at any support that we've got on a lower level, and then I'm looking at entry points based on this entire region that we've got here. I'm looking at an expansion during 2022 to be taking place on Chainlink. So that's the second one that I'm looking at. Still have been underperforming heavily in the current price cycle and current action of the movements of the market. Entirely 2021 has not been great for Chainlink at all. If we're discussing DeFi, we also have to discuss this beautiful one, which is Curve. Curve has been going sideways since September 2020. That level is still acting as resistance. We've not been breaking out of it. While it became from inflationary, it becomes deflationary, through which the price action should become upwards at some stage, given the fact that just like Ethereum, it is going to become deflationary. I think DeFi is still ready for big breakouts to be taking place, so it's something to keep in mind. if you want to start allocating your portfolio, that you should be moving towards DeFi if you want to get into positions. And Curve has been showing some strength, but as we know, crucial level that it has to break through is this entire block that we have here. If that one breaks, then we're going to have continuation or strength overall. So support is still here for Curve. We're stuck in this range. Very simple approach. If we get anywhere in this structure here, and you might already want to start building a position, then we're ready to get itself going. And I think you really want to start scaling in here already. If we get into the lower bound region, that will be great for second assumptions or second positions to be built here. So I'm definitely looking into DeFi, into Curve, and I'm also looking into the bigger projects in the DeFi section, which one of them is Aave, which is still showing weakness and correcting heavily as it rejected a previous support level for resistance. That is a key trigger. That's with many altcoins a key trigger to look at. If we break through this one, I'm expecting acceleration all the way towards the highs here, and most likely towards the other side of the range. We've seen it happening previously. We broke through the resistance here, started to expand and have a bull cycle at the beginning of 2021. And also since 2020 we have been showing strength. Last quarter of the year downwards. Last quarter of the year right now also downwards. I'm looking for such a flip to be taking place. And then second, I'm looking at any area beneath here, or at least this entire range construction. Second level I'm looking at around 3,800 sats. Third level I'm looking at is 2,600 sats. So these two are the ones that I'm seeking. Overall, we are most likely going to see some more consolidation, especially if the markets are going to correct. I think altcoins will have some more pain. So this update is also giving you some levels that you should be looking at in the future to buy those altcoins before the alt season is actually going to take place, or the next part of this bull cycle is going to take place, which right now is just not the case, as markets are correcting a little bit. So this is just for you to give you some insights on the coins that I'm most likely going to be taking into my portfolio. Final one, VeChain, still trending south, while you might be saying it's not. We're seeing lower highs, lower lows here, through which I think we want to see a retest happening at these lower bounds. Preferably even you want to get a retest going in this region here before we're going to have any expansion, but definitely a beautiful one that is having those cycles before we start to expand into a new cycle. So these 5 I'm looking at to buy in the bull cycle. Do not forget to subscribe beneath and like the YouTube update, and I'll see you again soon for a new update. Have a wonderful weekend.